If someone asked you, "How are you feeling right now?" could you answer? Not with a single word like fine or okay, but with real detail and honesty. For many of us, that's a surprisingly hard question. We've spent years ignoring our emotions, pushing through them, or numbing them out. We've learned to say, "I'm fine," when we're anything but. But here's a different way to think about your inner world. As weather. What's the weather in your head right now? Is it sunny and clear? Partly cloudy with a chance of anxiety? Is there a gentle drizzle of sadness or a full-on thunderstorm of anger? Is there a fog of confusion or a cold front of loneliness? The weather metaphor isn't just poetic, it's practical. Weather changes. It moves through. You don't blame yourself for a cloudy day, and you don't panic when a storm rolls in. You check the forecast, you dress appropriately, and you wait for it to pass. Your emotions work the same way. Welcome to the Health Sketchpad. I'm Dr. AB. In this whiteboard guide, we're going to build a framework for understanding the weather in your head, so you can name your emotions, accept them without judgment, and navigate them with skill.
Why does the weather metaphor work so well for emotions?
Because weather and emotions share three key features. First, weather changes. A sunny morning can turn into a rainy afternoon. A storm passes, and the sky clears. Your emotions work exactly the same way. The average emotion, when you simply feel it without adding stories or judgments, lasts only about 90 seconds. 90 seconds. That's it. Second, you don't control the weather, but you can respond to it wisely. You can't stop a thunderstorm by yelling at it, but you can check the radar, grab an umbrella, or wait it out inside. Your emotions are similar. You can't always choose what you feel, but you can choose how you respond. Third, the weather isn't good or bad. It just is. A rainy day isn't evil. A cloudy day isn't a moral failure. Weather is neutral. Your emotions are also neutral. Anger isn't bad. Sadness isn't wrong. Anxiety isn't a character flaw. They're just data, signals from your body telling you something about your environment. When you stop judging your emotions as bad and start seeing them as weather, something shifts. You stop fighting reality. You start working with it.
Let's start with the weather we all want.
Sunny. Sunny weather in your head includes emotions like happiness, joy, contentment, gratitude, peace, and love. These are the moments when life feels light, when you're present and engaged, when problems don't feel overwhelming. Here's something important about sunny weather. You can't force it. Have you ever tried to force yourself to be happy? It rarely works. The more you chase happiness, the more it seems to run away. That's because happiness isn't a destination. It's a byproduct of living in alignment with your values, connecting with others, and being present in your life. So what do you do when the sun is shining in your head? Enjoy it. Savor it. Don't analyze it too much. Don't worry about when it will end. Just let yourself feel good without guilt or fear. Take a mental photograph of the moment. Tell someone about it. Write it down. Sunny weather is not a problem to be solved. It's a gift to be received. The challenge with sunny weather is that we often don't notice it. We're so focused on what's wrong that we overlook what's right. Practicing gratitude, actively noticing and appreciating the good moments, actually trains your brain to experience more sunny weather over time.
Now let's talk about cloudy weather.
Cloudy weather includes sadness, loneliness, grief, melancholy, disappointment, and the ache of loss. These are the heavy feelings, the days when your heart feels like it's carrying extra weight. Here's what you need to know about cloudy weather. It's not a malfunction. Sadness is not depression. Grief is not a disorder. These are normal, healthy responses to loss, disappointment, and change. The problem isn't feeling sad. The problem is believing that sadness shouldn't exist, that something is wrong with you for feeling it. When a grey cloud rolls in, what do? You don't scream at it. You don't pretend it's sunny. You acknowledge it. You might go inside, make tea, and let the rain fall. Your emotions work the same way. When you're sad, let yourself be sad. Cry if you need to. Rest. Be gentle with yourself. Talk to someone who can hold space for your feelings without trying to fix them. The danger with cloudy weather is when you get stuck in it. When sadness lingers for weeks or months, when it interferes with your ability to function, when you can't remember what sunny feels like, that's when you need support. But normal sadness? That's just rain. And rain makes things grow. Now for the weather that scares most people, the thunderstorm. Thunderstorm weather includes anger, frustration, rage, irritation, resentment, and fury. These are the high-energy, high-arousal emotions that make your heart race and your muscles tense. Many of us were taught that anger is bad, that good people don't get angry, that anger should be suppressed, hidden, or denied. But anger is not bad. Anger is information. Anger tells you that a boundary has been crossed, that something unfair is happening, that you need to protect yourself or someone you love. Anger is your brain's alarm system, just like a thunderstorm is nature's way of releasing pressure. The problem isn't feeling angry. The problem is what you do with it. When a thunderstorm rolls in, you don't stand outside and scream at the lightning. You also don't pretend it's not happening. You go inside. You wait. You let the storm pass. Your anger works the same way. Feel it in your body. Notice the sensations without acting on them. Take deep breaths. Walk away from the situation if you need to. Give yourself time before responding. The most destructive thing you can do with anger is act on it immediately. The second most destructive thing is to suppress it entirely, because suppressed anger doesn't disappear. It leaks out sideways as passive aggression, resentment, or physical tension. The skill is to feel the anger, listen to what it's telling you, and then choose a wise response, not a reactive outburst. Now for a type of weather that doesn't get enough attention. Fog. Foggy weather in your head includes confusion, dissociation, overwhelm, brain fog, uncertainty, and that feeling of being disconnected from yourself or your surroundings. Fog is different from other weather. You can't fight it. You can't run from it. You just have to move slowly and carefully until it lifts. When you're in a fog, your thinking is slow. Your memory feels unreliable. You might feel like you're watching your life from outside your body. That's dissociation. Or you might feel completely overwhelmed by too many demands, too much information, too many decisions. What do you do in foggy weather? You don't drive fast. You slow down. You turn on your low beams. You focus on what's immediately in front of you. The same strategies work for mental fog. Stop trying to do everything. Ground yourself in your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Touch something with texture. Take slow breaths. Break tasks into tiny steps. Focus on one thing at a time. Fog often signals that your nervous system is overloaded. It's a protective shutdown, your brain's way of saying, too much, too fast, slow down. The worst thing you can do in fog is push through. That usually makes the fog thicker. The best thing is to simplify, rest, and wait for clarity to return. Let's talk about wind. Windy weather in your head includes anxiety, restlessness, panic, dread, nervous energy, and that feeling of being scattered or ungrounded. Wind moves fast. It's unpredictable. It can knock you over if you're not prepared. But wind also passes. Storms don't last forever. When anxiety hits, your body is preparing for a threat that may or may not be real. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, your muscles tense. This is your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, activating. The problem is that modern anxiety is often about things that can't be fought or fled from. A deadline, a conversation, an uncertain future. So the energy gets trapped in your body and you feel like you're going to blow away. What do you do in windy weather? You anchor yourself. You find something solid to hold on to. The same is true for anxiety. Anchor yourself in your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Place a hand on your chest. Breathe, especially long, slow exhalations, which activate your parasympathetic nervous system and tell your body that the threat has passed. You can't always stop the wind from blowing, but you can learn to stand firm in it.
This is the weather that concerns people the most.
The cold front. Cold weather in your head includes numbness, emotional shutdown, depression, emptiness, apathy, and the feeling of being frozen inside. Unlike windy weather, high energy, or thunderstorm weather, high arousal, cold weather is low energy. You don't feel like doing anything. You might not feel much of anything at all. This is your nervous system's freeze response. When fight or flight isn't possible, when the threat feels inescapable, your body may shut down to conserve energy and protect itself. It's a survival strategy, but one that becomes problematic when it persists. The challenge with cold weather is that the things that would help feel impossible. Exercise would help, but you can't get off the couch. Social connection would help, but you can't pick up the phone. You're stuck in the freeze. So what do you do in a cold front? You don't start with a marathon, you start with a single step. Put one foot on the floor. Sit up. Take one sip of water. Text one person. Step outside for 60 seconds. Small movements generate small amounts of warmth, and small amounts of warmth can gradually thaw the freeze. If the cold weather lasts for weeks or months, if you can't feel anything at all, if you've lost interest in everything you used to love, that's not just weather. That may be depression. And depression deserves professional support. But on a cold day, even a single ray of sun can help.
Now that we've named the different types of weather,
Let's talk about how to check your forecast. Emotional awareness is a skill. It can be learned and practiced. Here's a simple framework. First, pause. Throughout your day, take just 30 seconds to ask yourself, what's the weather in my head right now? Second, name it. Is it sunny, cloudy, a thunderstorm, foggy, windy, a cold front? Use the words we've explored. Naming your emotions actually reduces their intensity by engaging your prefrontal cortex. Third, locate it. Where do you feel this weather in your body? Is there tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? Tension in your shoulders? Warmth in your heart? Your body is constantly telling you about your emotional state. You just have to learn to listen. Fourth, ask what it needs. Sunny weather might need savoring. Cloudy weather might need tears and rest. A thunderstorm might need a walk or a journal to vent. Fog might need grounding. Wind might need slow breathing. A cold front might need a warm shower or a call with a friend. This isn't about fixing your emotions. It's about responding to them wisely, just like you would respond to actual weather. The more you practice checking your forecast, the more skilled you become at navigating your inner world.
Let's bring this all together.
You are not your emotions. You are not your anxiety, your sadness, your anger, or your numbness. Those are weather patterns passing through. You are the sky, the vast, open awareness that contains the weather without being damaged by it. This is the most important lesson in emotional intelligence. You can observe your emotions without becoming them. You can say, "I notice anger arising," instead of, "I am angry." You can say, "There's sadness here," instead of, "I am depressed." When you're caught in a storm, it's hard to remember that the sky exists. But the sky is always there, calm, steady, unchanged, even when clouds cover it completely. So what do you do with this framework? Start small. Check your weather forecast 3 times a day: morning, midday, evening. Just notice. Don't judge. Don't fix. Just name it. When you notice a storm coming, prepare. If you know anxiety is likely in certain situations, have a breathing tool ready. If you know sadness often follows loss, give yourself permission to rest. And most importantly, be compassionate with yourself. You don't blame the sky for having clouds. Don't blame yourself for having difficult emotions. The weather changes. The sky remains. Check your forecast. Dress for the conditions. And trust that every storm eventually passes. What's the weather in your head right now?